Did you know you can run AI models locally on your local computer? Did you know that there are security risks with that, and that some attacks might actually poison your local AI? If you want to know what all that means and what you can do about it, stay tuned, because that's what I'm talking about today.
Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder.
Rise and Shine. It's your dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 761. It's Firewall Friday. We're going to be talking about how you can poison local AI. And my cold is finally going. I hope it's gone. It's on the mend. Anyway, local AI. How can it be poisoned? And that should be raising a question if you haven't been watching the podcast or I didn't catch the episode. You can run AI models locally. Now, we're not talking about downloading ChatGPT to your computer, because you can't do that, not really. But what we are talking about are AI models that have been made available for us to download and run on our computers. Models like Meta's Llama, Google's Gemma, Mistral's AI Mistral, or Mistral AI's Mistral, Alibaba's Quen, and DeepSeek models. Now, some of those are US-based, some of them are European-based, some of them are Chinese-based. Those models, however, require a piece of software on your computer so that you can access them and chat with them. We're talking about a piece of software like Ollama, Ollama. You download that to your computer. It allows you to download and load those modules, use those models, and you can chat with those models and get answers out of them and such. It also, from what I can see here, what I've understood from my own install, is you can also use it to let your other applications like agents, AI agents, access your local models to do your processing. The point is, well, I guess the question is, not the point is, the question is, why would you want to run a local AI model? Well, run AI locally and not just go and use Claude or ChatGPT. Again, if you've been watching this podcast for any length of time, you'll know that there is huge security and privacy issues to consider when using those models. You can't, if you're using a model up in the internet, you shouldn't be uploading your private information. You shouldn't be uploading copies of your driver's license. You shouldn't be uploading, you shouldn't be uploading API keys. All of those sorts of things that you've got to worry about when you're in a internet-based model. When you're running local models, you can put you can put more private information into it because it's all processed locally. The information never leaves your computer, theoretically. Never leaves your computer. I say theoretically because this episode is going to address some of that. The information never leaves your computer. It's all processed locally. You are using your own processor, your own resources, and you get to choose the model that you want to use. That's the benefit of it. There is two downsides that I can see. One is it can be really resource heavy. So, it's going to use your processor. It's going to use your memory. So if you're trying to do some word processing, if you're trying to render a video, if you're trying to do something else and you're trying to run your AI model and it's doing something for you, you might find that your computer starts chugging. However, you can absolutely do it. And it is that it's just one of the small downsides. The other downside is these models are no ChatGPT or Claude level fancy. They are good. They're good enough in most cases. In some cases, they're very specific and they're good for specific things. So you might use one model for one thing and another model to do something else. I want to talk about, though, is the fact that you can actually poison your local AI model and it can get exposed to the internet. Now, this one took me a little bit to research and get my mind around, and I hope I can get the information out. On the 25th of August, 2026, Cyera Research published a proof of concept research paper that showed it was possible to compromise an Ollama install. So Ollama is that piece of software that runs the models on your computer. Now, normally Ollama, when it runs, restricts its it restricts access to the API, the application programming interface, the little piece of software, the little interface you can plug into using code to say, do this, do that, do these things. That's the API. Normally, it restricts that access to that API to the computer it's running on. Now, when the researchers did their proof of concept, they installed a third-party piece of software that basically was running local agents on the computer. And those local agents were using Ollama to access the model so that it could do its thing. And that third-party piece of software had reconfigured Ollama and exposed its controls, its API beyond the computer. So normally Ollama goes, oh, it's okay, it's fine. If I'm getting an instruction coming in, it's got to be coming from the local computer because that's the way I work. I only work on the local computer. I'm fine. I'm cool. If I'm getting requests from the computer, it's coming from the computer, theoretically. Now, this was a proof of concept security demonstration. It's not a known attack being used in the wild. I love that they do these sorts of things because, first of all, it gives us something to talk about. It gives us something to think about and consider as we're moving forward, not going, oh my goodness, we're acting reactively. We can actually act proactively on this stuff. The other thing is it's helping the vendors keep their software safe, keep their software locked down and protect us even further. Now, it's after that change in the configuration occurred and basically a piece of software runs on a malicious website, and when someone visits that malicious website, it sends out a request to your computer and says, hi, Ollama, are you there? And Ollama, if it's installed on operating on your computer at the time, says, yes, here I am. I'm here. And the website goes, cool. I know this visitor, not the website. I mean, I'm not trying to anthropomorphize, whatever that word is. The website knows that local computer has got a local AI model. So it does a couple of things, and it tricks the computer into thinking that the browser is actually sending requests to Ollama from the local computer. And then it starts to send information down to the local computer, and Ollama says, oh, this is coming from me. This is coming from the computer I'm installed on, not from outside in the internet. It's coming from the computer I'm installed on. I can do these things because I've got permission to do it for this computer. It's really important to note here that the Ollama local API, the Ollama local connection, doesn't require any authentication because its normal configuration assumes that it's installed on a computer that only that computer can reach it. It can only be reached from that local computer. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, there's a little bit of magic that goes on, techno magic that goes on that allows that website to actually trick your computer into thinking those browser requests are coming from the computer. I'm not going to go into how that's done. That's a subject of another podcast episode. Maybe it's quite technical. All you need to know is that it is physically possible to do it. It is physically and technically possible to do it. Okay, so once that's done, once it knows you've got an AI model like Ollama installed on your computer, this is a specific Ollama attack. And it's tricked your Ollama into thinking, yes, these are coming from the computer. That attack now has control of your AI setup. It can see exactly which AI models are installed on the computer. It can run AI requests using the local computer and processing power. So it can go and say, I'll go and process this, or go and pull all this information down and process it all locally. Great, right? It can delete installed or change how those models have been configured, which could be a problem. It can, and this is the important part, it can create and change hidden instructions on your computer that are provided to the AI every time it runs. You might say at this point, They are poisoning. The attack is poisoning the instructions. That's what I'm talking about when I say you can poison your local AI. You can set up instructions that are actually malicious and cause problems, poison the AI. Now, those sorts of commands might silently tell the AI to mislead the user, hide information, or change how it responds. Those poisoned instructions are going to stay there even after the malicious website has been closed, because they are persistent. It's downloaded them into your models, onto your Ollama, into your models, and it's going to stay there. So the next time the local AI gets used, everything will appear normal while those instructions are still shaping every conversation you have. Or, and this is where it gets a little more scary, if it's an AI agent and that AI agent has access to the files on your computer, files, applications, or other systems, those instructions could potentially let the attacker exploit access already given to the agent, including copying information elsewhere, changing or deleting files where it had permission to do so, or taking actions in connected systems. That's a little more scary. That one's a little more out there too. Not all of that was demonstrated in the proof of concept, but if we were to extrapolate out and say, where could this go to? This would be one of the threat and risks that I put in my threat and risk assessment. Now, I might label it as a low probability risk, but the impact of it is a high impact. So that would be something that I would be considering when I'm doing a threat and risk analysis of, do I want to do this process this way? So that's what it does. That's where it can go wrong. Take a third-party piece of software. Sometimes it can modify your configuration, and sometimes that configuration can leave you exposed. AI is not the only thing that does this. We've seen this time immemorial with our computers. It's just, I feel that the impacts are getting wider because we're all connected and everything is connected and everything goes out to the internet, and the internet can have access to our computers, and all it takes, I say this regularly, really, all it takes is for one thing to go wrong and they win. We've got to keep getting it right every single time. They just need to win once. They just need to get it right once, and they've got in. They can do what they want. I'm not trying to scare you. I really just want to try and highlight the risks that you need to consider when you're thinking about doing these sorts of things. Now, I've spoken about all the bad things, and I've said this is what can go wrong. What is it we can do as business owners that can protect ourselves or make ourselves more secure, keep our privacy, ensure our privacy? That's what I'm trying to say. Well, I'm going to say be deliberate in our setups and take the time to configure what we're doing. If you're going to install Ollama, don't just go through the stock standard install and say, yeah, that's good. Go through the settings. Make sure you understand most of the things. Don't understand the settings, get some help. I mean, honestly, go and use ChatGPT to say, what does this setting do? Go and use Claude. What does this setting do? Use Copilot if you want to use Copilot. What does this setting do? What should it be? What does it mean to me? And if it's still over your head and you glaze over because this sort of stuff is just really dry and dusty stuff, reach out to someone who can help you and go through it with you. But be deliberate. When you're setting up these sorts of things, be very deliberate and go through it step by step. The other thing I'd say there is, don't enable network or web access unless you totally, absolutely need it. If you don't need it, turn it off. Keep the software that runs the model on your computer updated so that security fixes are installed when vulnerabilities are found. Now, you can, if there's auto updaters, make sure you've got the auto updaters set up. I would be saying subscribe to their newsletters that tell you when updates are coming out, that tell you what problems are in there. Maybe you won't understand them, but you'll have them there and you can send them to someone and say, is there something I need to worry about? You do need to start being proactive with all this stuff. Well, not just start. If you're already doing it, you need to continue to be proactive with it. You need to be very, very careful about the third-party software you're going to use. Now, this is a tough one because sometimes things can just happen. We've seen it. We've seen software from a really reputable company comes out and it's got a bug in it that it's got a security vulnerability. It's exposed as a security vulnerability. Now, those companies are normally really good at getting that stuff patched and out as soon as they find out about it and can fix it. But they've got to find out about it and fix it before it can happen. So it's a tough one because things can just happen. Now, the reason you want to be very careful about the third-party software you're using is because software that integrates with Ollama specifically, but other pieces of software like that, can change its configuration as part of its own setup. So once that happens, once you've installed something else, I would be saying go back to your Ollama setup, your other pieces of software setup, and just make sure that all your security and your privacy settings are still where you want them to be. Even if you're not installing software, but you're doing your updates, go and check your settings regularly. It's just too easy for an update to go through and something get changed or a new feature be added and you miss it. We're all busy. It's easy to miss it. So check your software settings regularly. Make sure you know what your privacy is set to. Make sure you know where your security is at. Make sure that the permissions that are given to it only allow certain things to have access to it. And the final thing, and I've said it once and I'm going to say it again, make sure that you keep Ollama and the software that configures or integrates with it updated. That includes Windows, that includes Linux, that includes just anything. Just make sure you keep your updates up to date. And finally, just realize that you can do all the things right and things still can go wrong. What matters is that you've done it, so you're limiting your liability, and then how you respond to it to recover from it. All right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's not a laughing matter. It's just one of those things that I look at and I go, yeah, it all feels a little tiring sometimes. I like this sort of stuff because, like I said, this is really good. We can be proactive. It allows us to be proactive. It allows us to think outside the box a little and expand our thinking about how we do things. And it allows the organizations that bring out this software to act on it before they release it. I think it's wonderful. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope that was interesting. If it was, please give the episode a like and share it with a friend. Maybe share it with a friend. I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with a friend. If you haven't done so already, please do like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And remember, I'm a tech wrangler. I've got a really wide base. I've got lots of depth in lots of things, as I hope you're finding out. If you need help with this sort of stuff, reach out. Head to askcharlyleetham.com. Click the bright pink button in the top right-hand corner and you can book yourself a free 30-minute breakthrough session. It's one per person company, so if you've already booked your session and used it, reach out to me and you want to work with me, reach out to me and we'll work out the best way that we can work together that's mutually beneficial. All right, that's it, guys. I'm going to go get some more lozenges, sort my throat out, and have a great and safe weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.